Welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of an in-depth review and brief of the Dyson 56 hard / hand vac. It's important to note that the actual DC56 hard, which hard meaning hardwood floors are or any kind of hard surface floor such as tile, that's what it was meant to clean. This particular product in this variant has been discontinued by Dyson, at least in North America. You can still actually purchase the Dyson DC56 from Costco. They sell it as a hand vac, and it only comes with the actual hand vac unit, the two attachments, and a charging cable. It doesn't even come with the charging dock. I do not have the charging dock out right now because it's actually attached to my wall. I use this product regularly, and I didn't feel like taking it down just for this video, but I will show it to you later on in this video. But anyway, back to, you can buy this vacuum cleaner from Costco, the DC56 hand vac. I'm fairly certain what Dyson did was the product, as the DC56 hard just didn't sell very well in North America. So what they did is they pulled it, took out the hand vacs and the attachments, ditched the aluminum extender and hardwood floor cleaner unit, and boxed up and sold it as a vacuum in an attempt to still make money. One of the reasons I wanted to make this video is I believe right now on the market this is probably one of the best deals you can get if you're in the market for a hand vacuum, and I'll explain why. This you can get now off of Amazon or eBay, all of this between $130 and $160. This hand vacuum, just the DC56 with these two attachments, runs about $140 to $160 at Costco, if I recall correctly. So if you're willing to go onto Amazon or eBay and buy the product, most of the time new, you'll get all of this. So you get this extender tube, which we can use for other things other than the hardwood floors, and then you get this hard surface cleaner. So personally, I think you can't do much better than this. Now before I go into its praises, I will go into its cons. First of all, the actual Cyclones right here, which I'm going to make a video on how to clean this. The Cyclone technology is very good. Alright, it's Dyson. I mean, you can never go wrong with a Dyson product, at least of this latest generation. The earlier stuff might have been questionable, but this is definitely very good. Now, because this is on such a small scale, the Cyclones in here don't actually filter out a lot of the very fine dirt. It is left up to the filter, which I'll show you. I just cleaned this a few days ago. Alright. I just cleaned this a few days ago, and you can see that there is clearly a lot of very fine dirt. Now the purpose of this filter is to stop those very fine particles from getting through, but anybody who owns a Dyson upright or a canister vacuum, who cleans it regular as they should, will tell you that usually the filters aren't very dirty, even after several months of use, which tells me that the Cyclones in here aren't as effective as Dyson would like you to believe. You're going to have to clean this filter regularly. By regularly, I don't mean once a month, I mean most likely once a week at the minimum, especially if you're using this regularly. Okay, really that's my biggest complaint. Max, when you use the, so it's trigger controlled, alright, that's the operation of the vacuum. That's just in its normal mode. I can get about 15 to 20 minutes of use out of this. I've never run out of battery in this mode. Now, in Max, which you can hear the RPMs of the V2 digital motor spike, I'm lucky to get 3 to 5 minutes out of Max mode. It really drains the battery quite quickly, and I don't find much of a use for it. So, to each his own, I guess. But so the battery on Max mode, not the greatest, and it does take about 3 hours to charge. But if you set up that cradle on your wall, you'll find charging's never really a bother, because as soon as you're done, you just hook it up to your wall mount charger, and next time you use it, you'll have it charged. So rather than plugging it in, plugging it in. So That's really the biggest complaints about it are simply the fact that the Cyclones don't operate as effectively as one would expect them. Again, this product is still being sold by Dyson, just the hand vac at Costco. So be aware if you buy it, you're going to need to clean the filter. If you don't clean the filter, that impairs airflow, and even though Dyson claims never loses suction, it will lose suction. That's the whole selling point of their new Cinetic vacuum cleaner. The Dyson Big Ball doesn't have filters, therefore it actually doesn't lose suction. So, now onto its praises. You can do a lot of great things with this vacuum cleaner. These two attachments alone right here, which you can see, one of the things I love about Dyson's, just snaps right in. Easy as that. Okay, so you have these soft bristle brushes for dusting and such, and then you have for hard surfaces. Excellent tool for the car. It doesn't necessarily get deep and dirty, but still very good in the car, and for general dusting. Then you have the crevice tool right here, and again that snaps into place and offers, and you can even see I use this. I was sanding, drilling some holes in the plaster wall and sanding it as well, and I had this just right below the sander, and it sucked it all up, didn't let any get on the ground. And then it's great for getting in those tight corners without having to get to your upright vacuum cleaner. So the two attachments it comes with, whether it's in this configuration as the Dyson Hard or as just the DC56 Hand Vac, what you get is actually pretty good, especially considering the price tag. Okay, now we'll get those attachments out of the way. Now what I want to talk about is this. This to me is what makes this an excellent buy. Okay, the fact that you can get this aluminum extender tube right here actually is probably the biggest advantage, because typically if you want one of these, you're going to have to go on eBay to find them, or yeah, pretty much eBay, or you can try and order the part from Dyson, and they run between $100 to $150. Now it is aluminum, and it uses the hard plastics Dyson's known for that they claim they use on are used on riot shields, but this is aluminum and it's very sturdy. Okay, you can ding it, bat it, and it still holds. And even with all the torque and different pressures you're putting on this tube as you vacuum, it stays solid, and I have no complaints. This is, like I said, the main reason I say this is an excellent buy, because, like you see, hold on a second. Alright, so we attach it just like that. It's nice and sturdy. It wiggles around a little bit, but I can never feel any airflow, so this tells me the seal is good. Alright, so we have now our extended tube or hose, and you can attach, obviously, your hard floor cleaner, or you can attach your crevice tool or your soft bristle brush dusting tool, and you can use this to get up into the ceilings, or you don't have to bend down to clean your floorboards or your trim, anything like that. You have this extender hose right here, which Dyson's current models is the DC35 and the DC59, and those are really the only ones you can get that come with this, and then they sell those as standalone vacuums that you can clean your house with, though if you actually want to really clean your carpet, you need still an upright or a canister vacuum. So you get this extender hose right here. Now you're not just limited to the tools that that Dyson supplies you. You can buy other tools, which I have done, just that. Go ahead and put that right here. So right here we have just a hard surface vacuum tool that rolls around, and it pivots, so you can get under those really tight spaces, especially on your hard floors. Not very good on carpet, but excellent on hard floors. I even have used this to suck up the dirt in the crevices on my wood porch, simply because it gets down there better than a bristle broom does. So you have that attachment you can buy. Not that one. Set these ones aside. Alright, you have your multi-angle dust brush right here, which I'll show you exactly what it does. Alright, you can set it at pretty much any which angle you want, and if you do further research on this tool, Dyson has all kinds of pictures. It's excellent for getting on top of the ceiling fan, on those blades, on top of the trim around the windows, and it picks up the dust. And again, just a simple snap in, just like that, and look right there. You have yourself a neat little dusting tool for those high spots in your house that you normally have to get on some kind of chair or stool or ladder to reach. So you have that tool. And those are the main tools that I use. Okay, now one of the things I did want to discuss was, so we have all of these excellent tools right here, okay, and then we have, of course, the ones that Dyson supplies with us. So we have 4 tools right there alone that we can use with our Dyson DC56 Hand Vac. And of course, we also have our hard surface cleaning attachment. So that right there, and again, you can get all of this stuff together, the attachments and stuff, for a little under $200. All this stuff, and that's more than you're going to get with a DC35 or a DC59. Okay, so like I stated earlier, if you want real cleaning in your house, a DC59 is not going to clean your carpets. It's going to suck up the surface stuff, but it's not going to do as well as, say, a DC65 upright vacuum cleaner or their new Big Ball. So if you're trying to, if you really want to spend $500 on a DC59, you'll have all the same advantages. You'll be able to use all of these tools. In fact, you'll be able to use a few more tools. But for the money, and you want a Dyson, this is what you're going to want. This is what you're going to want to buy. Now, there are a few disadvantages. You saw all these wonderful tools we can use, and they are great. Now, we discussed suction. Here's some dirt got out. Now, we discussed suction. It uses the Dyson Digital V2 motor, which is the same motor that's going to be featured in their upcoming 360i robot. I will make a video about my opinion on that device later on. So it uses a V2 motor, which is an excellent motor. It produces quite a bit of suction considering the size, and of course the battery lasts quite a while. So that is great. That being said, the suction is not as good as you'd want it for what Dyson tries to sell. They make a car cleaning kit which comes with several tools, which I'll show you. It comes with this extender tool, which is meant to get down. If I can get it open. Alright, and you see it flexes. It's meant to get down to those crevices of the car. It has a stiff bristle brush to get into those really, really tight areas, especially like in your door panels and such. So great tool. You can use it with your DC56 to clean the car. You also have this stiff bristle brush right here. Now this is an excellent tool as well. Floor mats or any kind of the interior cloth, anything like that. This is going to get those difficult pieces of dirt out, which is fantastic. Now in the current Dyson car cleaning kit, it comes with this. This is the tangle-free turbine. Now rather than a spinning beater bar, instead it has these oscillating bristles right here, and the idea is that they don't get tangled. And with normal use, they don't. I've seen video demonstrations of people who have a pile of dog hair or a pile of human hair, to which I say, I don't care what vacuum you have, you don't suck that up, you sweep it up, stop being lazy. So with lots of hair, this is going to get tangled. Even this will still tangle. There's still moving parts, there's still rotary and gears, so it'll still get tangled. But generally speaking, it doesn't get tangled. Now, back to what I was saying. Unfortunately, the suction that the DC56 produces is not enough to really rotate these bristles fast enough to agitate the fabric and the carpet to bring up the dust. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So attach it, and you can see it attaches beautifully. The only reason I would say get a DC59 is if you want to use this tool without having to use an upright vacuum cleaner. Okay, so I'll turn it on, and you can see right there, okay, look how easy I was able to stop that. It's not very strong, and by the time you apply it to your carpets, the bristles are just going to stop. So it just doesn't produce enough suction to adequately spin these bristles. So car cleaning kit, these two tools, good. This tool, use it with your upright, use it with your DC59. This is an excellent tool. I'm not saying it's a bad tool. It's just not usable with the DC56. Now the last thing I wanted to talk about before we move on to the actual practical application of the vacuum is this tool right here. This is an attachment for the DC59. Okay. Now, before I became fully educated on Dyson products, I bought this assuming it would attach to my DC56, because I assumed, because this tangle-free turbine wasn't adequately spinning that I would need a different tool. So I bought this, which, as it turns out, I didn't read all the way, is actually, it's motorized. Alright, so when you attach it to your DC59, there's actually a female prong that attaches, and it applies the battery power to the motor in here, spinning your beater bar. Fortunately, if you look in here, there's absolutely no female connectors. There's no power, and if you even try and connect it, I'll show you, you can see it doesn't work. So be advised, don't make the same mistake I did. Can I give you a review on this tool? No, I cannot. I've never used it. However, if it's a typical Dyson product that came out of the same generation as all of these, I'm sure it's fantastic, and I look forward to being able to use it one day. So that is just a quick review of the tools and the reasons I believe that the DC56 Hand Vac / Hard is an excellent purchase, especially for somebody who's in the market for a hand vacuum cleaner. I'm going to quickly go over the use of it on the hardwood floor and explain why I still think this is the best hard surface vacuum cleaner / mopper on the market, even compared to the Swiffers. So, okay, so here we have all of our necessary equipment to use the DC59, or to use it for its original intended purpose, which is, of course, cleaning hard surfaces. Now, when you buy a DC59 hard, if it's new from, say, Amazon or eBay, in the box you'll get 3 of these. They're packets that contain the wipes you attach to the DC59 hard's cleaner head. You can get additional packs off of Amazon or eBay, or even at a lot of local retailers such as Best Buy. They still do sell these in 12 packs or multi-packs, which I believe are 36 wipes. I was lucky enough that I swiped 30 packs of the, this is just the hard floor wipes, and then they make a wood cleaning wipe. And I was able to get about 30 of each for 48 cents a pop, so it came out in somewhere in the 40s. And I got a really big, heavy box of wipes. I was not expecting that much, nor them to be that big. So shop around. These wipes really aren't that expensive, and you can even use Swiffer wet wipes if you need to. They're approximately the same size. Now, I'll go over now one of the reasons I think this is so much better than the Swiffer. Okay, so we review right here. The way this operates is it has 2 squeegees, if you will. There are intakes for the actual suction, which take place right here. Okay, the idea is as you push the Dyson hard forward, it captures the dirt with the squeegees and forces it into the intakes right here, and the vacuum sucks them up. If it doesn't make it there, alright, the wipe comes over it and it picks it up there. If it doesn't pick it up there, it then has one more chance through these additional chambers right here. It's pretty ingenious. So that's the basic operation of how it's supposed to work. Now, when you use these wipes, and I've read a lot of reviews, and people claim these wipes don't last very long, or it doesn't cover surfaces, etc., etc. Do I agree with them? On certain aspects. These wipes could be a little bit more moist. They tend to run a little dry, a little fast, but that's why I recommend getting multiple packs. Now, the way you load it up is much like a Swiffer, except you put this rubber piece down, and it even gives you a little pictogram right there. Okay. You lay it flat, and then simple as this, you just tap it, and it's locked. That's it. You don't have to sit there and tuck it into anything like you do on the servers. It just locks into place. And then it's just a simple connect this here to the Dyson, and off you go. Now, one thing that is important to note is when you're using this, they actually have little spring-loaded wheels that push down on this wipe. So if you're applying pressure and you're pushing down, like you might say with a Swiffer, what's actually happening is you're pushing this up, and you're pushing this up, and then what's happening is these squeegees are compressing down. So actually the only thing that's touching the ground are these squeegees. The wipe's not making any kind of contact. Dyson has designed this that when you are cleaning and mopping / vacuuming the floor, you just need to let it do the work. All you're there to do is just to push. You're not there to press down, you're just to steer it and push it. And you can see right here, it has excellent movement. Okay, better than a Swiffer. Much better than a Swiffer. And I'll give you a quick demonstration real quick. Alright, so here we are. The Dyson heart is all put together. We have our wipe down, and as you can see, I'm just going to use it and I'll show you how it works. And it's easy as that. You can see it takes very little effort to use. It's light. Dyson has engineered this where all the main weight for the vacuum is on the back handle, so when you're not using the actual floor attachment, you're using, say, the crevice attachment. It's extremely light, and you can pivot all with your wrist. Now, one thing I did want to cover was people tend to complain that their wipes don't last very long. And as I told you earlier, I am inclined to agree. There are times when I wish the wipes would last longer. Now you can see the wipe isn't dirty at all because I just clean the floor. I clean it every day because I'm kind of a clean freak about that. Now, what people don't seem to understand is they can use their wipe, but oftentimes only about this half is dirty and dry. This half still remains fairly moist. So rather than replacing this wipe, all you have to do is flip it around, and you still have, you know, a good wipe left. So you don't need to get rid of them as fast as you would think. One last thing I'd like you to note before I close this video is this tube itself. Okay, we've seen all the attachments you can place on here other than the hard surface cleaner. A lot of people have the notion, and I'm guilty of it myself before I did some research, that you can buy the motorized head and make yourself a little stand-up vacuum, much like the DC59 or the DC35. Is that the case? Unfortunately, no. Because, much like that attachment I showed you earlier, it has a motor inside of the head. It requires additional power. And as you can see, this tube does not have, or is wired, to provide that power, nor is the DC56. So, if you really, really want a cordless hand vacuum cleaner, you're going to have to buy the DC59. My personal recommendation, skip the cordless hand vacuum cleaner and buy a DC65, a DC50, the big ball, the one that just came out. Buy a dedicated vacuum cleaner. The cordless vacuums, I don't care who makes it, whether it's Shark, Dyson, Hoover, you just can't beat either a canister or an upright vacuum. That's about all for this video. Expect more from me very soon. I'm hoping to get back in the swing of this, and thank you for watching.